Om Shanti. Hello. How are you all? Doing good? Nice. I request you all to please switch on the videos because this is going to be an interactive session. Okay, so it would be great if you all can switch on the videos, please. Okay, thank you. So today's topic is building concentration and attention. First, we'll understand what is attention. What do you think is attention? Can you write in the chat box? Okay. Yes, to focus on anything, focusing on some work. Yes. So attention is basically our ability to focus on something, like controlling our mind and focusing. That is attention. So to understand that a little nicely, we'll do a little exercise. Okay. Can you look around wherever you're sitting and tell me objects which are white in color? Quickly, let's do this exercise. Look around objects and see whatever is white and write in the chat box. Quickly, let's see. Whatever you see white around, even cream would be considered as white. Wall, wall, curtains, notebook page, page, yes, table, lamp, my dress, right? Great, yeah, page, plate, very nice. Okay, stop now. So can you look around and see objects which are red in color? Red. Bag, bed sheet, nice. Pencil, nice. Okay, my shirt, bag, pen, shirt, bottle, bed sheet. Okay, nice. Yes, flower, light, chair. Okay, lot many things, right? Okay, now let's stop. Okay. So when we were looking out for objects which are white in color, were there objects which were of other colors as well? Like we had green, pink, other colors as well around, right? And when we were looking out for objects which are red in color, do we had white color objects also around, right? But when we were looking out for red objects and we saw the same white objects, what did we do? What did we do to those white objects? When we were looking out for red and we saw the white object, what did we do? Ignored. Yes, correct. We ignored white because we wanted to see only red object. So that is attention. Attention is ability of our brain to focus on the thing that we want and to ignore whatever is irrelevant for the task that I want to perform. That is attention. To focus on only the thing that I want. Although there were other things around, when we were looking out for red objects, there were white objects, but we wanted to put our attention, we wanted to focus only on red. Where is red? Where is red, right? We ignored whatever was white as if it didn't exist, right? Okay, so we understood what is attention. Now let me also ask you, can you hear the sound of the fan or AC? Can you hear the sound? Yes, yes. Okay. So were you able to hear that sound, like we have been sitting here for 5 minutes? Were you able to hear that sound before that? Were you able to hear that sound? No. Right? Why? When I asked you, can you hear the sound of fan? Then you put your attention towards that sound. And then you were able to hear the sound of fan. Although the sound existed, but it was as if it didn't exist. When I asked you, can you hear it? You immediately put your attention towards that sound. And now you're able to hear it. Right? So that is why it is said, ध्यान से सुनो. Do we say कानों से सुनो? Do we say कानों से सुनो? We say ध्यान से सुनो. Pay attention to what you're hearing. Do we say listen with your ears? We say pay attention to what you're hearing. Because we listen by this power of attention. We see with this power of attention. Is it clear? Okay, so this attention basically acts as a gate and brain filters it. Attention acts as a gate and brain filters it. So what happens whenever we put an attention to any object, the sensory signals, they are sent to our brain and brain processes only that. That is why attention is acting as a gate. Wherever we put our attention to, we are able to see and hear only that. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say I'm very much interested in painting. Okay, I'm doing whatever I like, so I'm painting. And I'm not interested in political talks that my parents are doing. Okay, and I'm doing painting, which I'm interested in. So if I'm doing painting and my parents are doing that political talk, would I be hearing that? No. Why? Because my attention isn't drawing. Although that music, although their voice is around, but I won't be able to hear that because I've put all my attention to my interest, to what I like. So that is the power of attention. So we listen and we hear based on this power of attention. Okay, so there is one law which we'll understand today, and it's a very important law. You can write that down. Okay, wherever attention goes, energy flows, and wherever energy flows, that thing grows. I'll repeat it. Wherever attention goes, energy flows, and wherever energy flows, that thing grows. So wherever we put our attention to, we are giving our energy to it. And its possibility of coming to reality is increasing. If I keep on thinking that I'm a failure, it, no. If I think I can, will I be able to do it? Yes. Because whatever we pay attention to, that becomes a reality. So like we did this exercise for objects, right? We were able to see whatever we wanted to. We could see a red object and white object. This holds true for situations and people as well. Let's say a person comes in front of you and you don't like that person. You had a fight with that person you don't like. Although that person might be having some qualities, will you be able to see good in that person? You would see all the negative qualities in that person, right? Because we are paying attention to his negative qualities. If I ask you, can you tell me bad qualities of yours? Can you tell me bad qualities of yours? You'll prepare a list of it. Now let me ask you, can you tell me good qualities of yours? You'll again come up with the list. Why? Because you're paying attention. So when I asked you, do you know your good qualities? You paid attention to the good qualities. and you came up with a list. If I ask you, do you know your bad qualities? You will focus on bad qualities and you'll come up with a list again. So, attention. We see in other person only the things that we want to see, only the things that we are paying attention to. Similarly, that things hold true for situations as well. Let's take an example of APJ Abdul Kalam. We know he used to sell newspapers and then he became a president. So whenever we say about his story that he used to sell newspaper and like his journey of his life, whenever we used to talk about it, do we say that selling newspaper was a very negative situation and when he became president, that is a very positive situation? Do we say that? Or do we say that it's a very remarkable story of his life? What do we say? We say, yes, we say it's a remarkable story. Yes, correct. We say it's a remarkable story, or it was, okay, someone said it's a struggle. We never say it was a negative situation. Why? Because it was an opportunity. Everything that comes in our life is an opportunity. It gives us an opportunity to grow, to learn from that and to grow. But it is just that what are we paying attention to? If APJ Abdul Kalam would have paid attention that, oh, I'm just a newspaper man, I cannot grow, I cannot become anything big, would he become what he became? No, right? But he put his attention that he wanted to do something great for the country. That is where he put his attention to. Because his attention was there, energy flowed and that thing grew, which made him this, what he became today. That is the power of attention. So can you think of any negative situation, the situation that we think are negative around us? Can you think of any situation that we think is very negative? Any situation? Okay, let me take an example. Let's say I like to be peace and I like to be calm, and someone from my house, he or she like talks very loudly and I cannot hear that loud noise. It disturbs me inside. Okay, we can call it a negative situation, that I like to be peaceful but people around me, they shout a lot. It disturbs me. Okay, so now what is this? So we learned today that there is nothing a negative situation or a good situation. It is an opportunity. Now let's understand what opportunity is this situation giving me. Can you think what opportunity is this situation giving me? People around me, they're shouting, like they talk in a very high pitched voice and it disturbs me. So what opportunity is this situation giving me? We learned that it is an opportunity, right? Nothing is negative. It is just that where we are paying our attention to. If I pay my attention to their voice, it will disturb me. But if I want to pay my attention to something else, then what? Then what that should be? Okay. Okay, someone messaged that to learn to focus and stay calm even in disturbances and noise. Yes, that's correct. So this is giving me an opportunity to learn how to be calm, how to be peaceful even in situations which is disturbing, right? So let's say now if I go to a party and there is very loud music going on, if I've already learned to be peaceful and calm, would I be disturbed? Or if in neighborhood there is a very loud music and I'm studying, if I got that opportunity and I learned to be peaceful and calm, would I be disturbed then? No, I won't be disturbed, right? Why? Because it gave me an opportunity to grow. Every situation that we get in life, it gives us an opportunity to grow and become better. Okay, it is just that where are we paying our attention to? Okay, so we understood this law. Wherever we pay our attention, energy flows and that thing grows. Okay, so now let's see what is that thing that distracts us. What is that thing that impacts our attention? The focus that we have, what is the thing that disturbs our attention? Can you think of that? Can you let me please know, like, what are the things that distracts you? Let's say you are studying. What are the things that distracts you when you are studying? Just think. Something attractive. Okay, can you please be more specific? Gadgets, yes. Okay. Okay. Think. What are the things? Internet, yes. My mobile, yes. Very nice. That we like or not like. Okay, sorry, I didn't get that. TV, yes. When my friends call me, yes. Games, my thoughts, yes. Very good. Friends, yes. Yes. Correct. So all these things distracts us. We are distracted by our mobile. What do we do in our mobile? We play games. We use Facebook. We use WhatsApp. We use TikTok. Oh, sorry, TikTok is no more there, but we used to use that, right? Twitter, right? Instagram, computer games. All these things, they distract us, right? So, and in today's era, multitasking is very famous. How many of you do multitasking? How many of you do multitasking? Multiple things at a time. Let's study and let's eat and let's use mobiles and let's play game or talk with friends. We do multitasking, right? Why do we do multitasking? Why do we do multitasking? Because we think we'll be able to do more tasks if we do multitasking. Is that the reason? Why do we do multitasking? To do more work in a specific time. Yes. To be involved. Because we are distracted. Okay, yeah, correct. So the main reason why we do multitasking is because we think if I'll be doing study using phone, messaging, or using computer and multiple things at a time, like I'll be able to do more tasks in the given period of time. Correct? We think that. But let me tell you, let's say you have a phone, okay? And if you open many apps in that phone, or let's say you have a computer and you open multiple applications in that computer. What happens to its performance? What happens if you open many apps together, like very heavy apps together? Like if you open games, it decreases down, it hangs. Yes, it hangs. Your phone hangs when you open many apps together. Yes, it decreases its performance, right? Similarly, our brain, so let's say I'm studying, and if I need to switch between the study and using a phone, what does brain have to do? Brain need to stop thinking about the study and it has to start thinking about the phone, right? That switch it needs to make. And that switch is called a switching penalty that brain has to pay when I switch between tasks. That is called as a switching penalty. Okay, so in phone, when I keep on switching between different tasks, the phone hangs. Why does it hang? Why does it hang? Because I'm switching too frequently between different apps. It doesn't know which app should I use, which app should I put my space on, which app should I give the CPU to, which app should I actually execute, right? Because we're switching too frequently. And the phone also has to pay that switching penalty, right? Which we call as context switch. It also has to do that. When it switches between different apps, it also has to do that switching. So that is why its performance degraded, right? Similarly, our brain, if I keep on switching between different tasks, brain has to use that energy to switch between those tasks. And then I cannot give more energy and I cannot perform better if I keep on switching, because the energy is wasted in switching the tasks rather than actually executing that task. So are you able to understand? Multitasking is not good for our brain. It is not that way that if I'll study and if I'll message and if I'll play games or listen a video at the same time, I'll be able to do more tasks. It is not like that. Our brain has to pay that switching penalty to switch between tasks, and it gets confused, like, what should I do? It has to pause and start thinking about the new thing that you're doing. Yes, we need to do one work at a time so that we have a focus on only one thing that we are doing. But let's understand that why do we get distracted? We understood that the brain has to pay that switching penalty. So let's say I'm studying, okay? But why is that mobile distracting me? Why do I have to pick up my phone and scroll Facebook or Insta or watch a YouTube video? Like, why do I have to do that? Right? The phone distracts us. Why? It is because of a property of a brain which is called as neuroplasticity. Okay? Neuroplasticity. Neuro stands for neurons in the brain, and plasticity stands for ability of the brain to form structures, to mold itself, to change itself. That is called as neuroplasticity. So whenever we perform certain actions, there is a neural circuit that gets formed in our brain. Okay, so you would have seen that when you want to learn a new skill, let's say I want to learn dancing. So in the start, it would be hard for me to learn these steps. But as and when I keep on practicing, doing the same action again and again, it becomes easy for me to dance. Similarly, for any new skill, if you want to learn a new language also, it holds true, right? So in the start, it is hard. Why? Because the circuit isn't formed. We keep on doing that action again and again. If I keep on doing dancing again and again, neurons, they form a circuit. Once that circuit is formed, it becomes easy for me to dance. That is how brain learn things, by forming a circuit. This is how you learn any new skill in your life. And this neuroplasticity, this property is very much active when we are young. Till age of 9, it is very active. That is why when we are small, we learn languages very fast. We learn everything very quickly. Whatever we hear, we learn. Because this is very active. Okay, that circuit gets created very quickly. Now what is, like, why are we learning this? Okay, so let's say a circuit gets formed, and this circuit, it keeps on getting stronger and stronger when we keep on repeating that action. If I keep on dancing, the circuit will get stronger. Okay, now if it gets stronger than beyond a certain threshold, then it becomes an issue. Then I lose control. Then that circuit, it got so stronger that it takes over the control. Now I don't have control over it anymore. And this is called as addiction. So we know smokers, right? Why, even if you ask smokers, they say that they don't want to smoke. But why are they smoking? They say that they don't want to smoke. They say that. But why are they smoking? Because it is that circuit that got so stronger that it fires. and it creates that urge inside you that you have to smoke. You feel very restless until you do so, because the circuit is very stronger, and that is how you got addicted to it. So until you do that, you won't feel relaxed. Okay, the same holds true for our mobile. If we keep on using mobile again and again, if we keep on distracting ourselves again and again, what would happen? The circuit will get stronger. And if I'm studying, I would like to use the phone again and again. That is what is happening. You know, I had a manager in my office. Her threshold was actually 6 minutes. Every 6 minutes, if she doesn't touch the phone screen, her thumb used to shake. So every 6 minutes, she had to take out phone. Even in meetings, she used to do that very like, so that it's not visible. She used to do that. She used to take out the phone from her bag and she used to just touch the phone, and then her thumb used to stop, else it used to shake like this. Because that circuit got stronger. You got addicted to using the phone so much, right? So anything that we do, it has to be under some limits. We need to be very careful about the amount of time that we are spending in the mobile, because we don't want that this should happen with us. Do we want that? No, right? Are we, did we understand this neuroplasticity concept? Is it clear or any doubts? We understood how we get addicted to things, right? It's clear. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's clear. Cool. So now we understood the concept of neuroplasticity, how we can use it for us. Like I'll tell you how I used to study. So phone used to distract me as well when I used to study. So what is the trick that I used was, so whenever I used to study, I used to hide my phone somewhere, just out of my sight. It shouldn't be where I'm studying. I used to just keep it somewhere where it is out of my sight. Because if you see it again and again, let's say I'm studying here, and if I have my phone beside me, then I'll get the urge to check it again and again, right? And if the phone or the laptop is not near me, and if I only have my books around, I won't get that urge. It will help me reduce that urge. So whenever you study, the first thing is you need to keep away your phone, your laptop, anything that distracts you. So just check in the room where you study, you should have only books. You shouldn't have your phone. You shouldn't have your laptop. Yes, it helps to concentrate. We'll come to what is concentration. Okay? It's clear? So do you think this trick will help you? You understood this trick, right? Okay. And we learned that multitasking is also not good. So we'll do one thing at a time. We'll either study, either use phone, either play games. Not all the things at the time, because we'll not be able to put our attention to it. One thing at a time, and we'll put our attention to whatever we are doing, because whatever actions we are doing, the neural circuit is getting formed and we might get addicted to it. So we have to be a little careful there. Okay. So now let's move on to what is concentration. Okay. So for that, let me ask you, can you create a picture? Can you create a picture of a peacock dancing? And let's try concentrating for a minute. Okay. Let's just sit back, create a picture of a peacock, and let's imagine her dancing with the little drizzles of rain. Okay, whatever imagination you want to create, you can use that. And let's try concentrating for a minute. Okay. Sure, someone asked to repeat. So what I said was, imagine a peacock dancing in front of you and we concentrate only on that peacock. Okay. You can imagine her dancing in rain or whatever imagination you want. You can use your imagination power here and see the peacock dancing. Okay. Okay. So were you able to concentrate? Were you able to see the peacock dancing? Is peacock really in front of you? Is peacock really dancing in front of you? No. But you were able to see the peacock dancing and the rain and whatever imagination you created, right? You were able to see that peacock and you were able to concentrate. So what is concentration? Concentration is the ability of brain to think and to create picture and to see that for a given period of time, to sustain that picture for a longer time. That is concentration. Like we did that for a peacock. When I said peacock, you created an image of peacock. So you created a thought of peacock, you created an image of peacock, and you kept on imagining peacock for a minute. That is concentration. So to basically understand concentration during the school days, we how do teachers teach concentration, or what I remember is, you remember the sun rays that used to fall on the concave mirror, and the rays, they used to concentrate and the paper beside it used to burn, right? The concave mirror used to burn that paper, right? So what is this? So the light rays above, it is attention. That concave mirror is what you are thinking and the picture that you are creating. So if you put the concave mirror, the paper would burn, and it would burn if you'll keep it there for a longer time. If you'll put it just for a second, would it burn? It needs certain time. So that concave mirror is the thought and the picture that you create in your mind. And if you keep there for a certain amount of time, it concentrates and burns the paper. So first comes attention. If we put our attention, because we understood, right? We hear by attention. We see wherever we put our attention to. We hear wherever we put our attention to. So first is attention. The second is, after we put our attention to, we create a thought. Thinking and imagining together. Okay, that is concentration. So generally it happens that whatever we learn, we generally tend to forget. Okay, so I'll tell you a technique today, how to remember things. We know that technique. We have already used that technique. So that technique is called as association technique. So basically we'll understand what is association technique. So who can tell me the names of all the planets in order? Mercury, Venus, all the planets in order. Who can tell me? Every one of us know, right? How do we know? Why do we remember that? Why do we remember? Because we associated that with the phrase. At least I remember it because I associated that with the phrase. My very educated mother served us noodles. Pluto is no more there. That is why it changed to served us noodles. We remember it because we associated that it with the phrase. And each word, letters, first letters we picked up, and then we were able to remember its sequence. What is this? This is association. We associated the sequence of planets with the phrase. The phrase was easy to remember, but if you ask me, can I actually say all the planets' name in order without remembering that phrase? I can't. It's hard. Mercury, Venus, Earth. If I want to say it that way, it becomes hard until and unless I remember that phrase. I pick it, the first words, and then it becomes easy for me to say. That is the association. We associated it with the phrase. Similarly, periodic tables as well, right? You all might be learning periodic tables. Periodic tables also we used to prepare a poem for it and learn. Right? Each one of us our own poem. I used to prepare a different poem for each table because we are associating it with a poem. That is called as association. So, okay, so let's actually take some practical examples of how we can use this association technique for our studies. Okay, so let's take an example. I'll ask you certain questions and you need to remember it. Okay, let's see who remembers it. So this is a game for you all. I request you all to please turn on your videos because you would be answering the questions that I would be asking. So it would be great if you all can turn on the videos, please. Okay, sure. So let me tell you some country names. So the game is, I'll be telling you some country names and the capitals and you need to remember it. Some of you might already be knowing it, but you need to remember it. Okay. So, okay. Bahrain, Manama. Barbados, Bridgetown. Cameroon, Yaoundé. Sweden, Stockholm. Bulgaria, Sofia. Hungary, Budapest. Okay. Who can tell me capital of Sweden? You can raise your hand. I can unmute you. Very good. Someone replied Stockholm. But let's not reply on chat else others would also get to know, right? So you can raise your hand. Okay. What was the capital of Barbados? You can raise your hand. Barbados. See, only one remember. Why does others, like, why do others don't remember? Let me unmute him. Yeah. Yes, Keshav.
Bridgetown.
Correct. Very nice. Yes. So Keshav remembered. Why do others, they don't remember? So, okay. So let's try learning this. Okay. How would we learn this? Let's see. So we learned association technique. So we need to associate this with something and then we'll be able to remember. Let's see what is that. So let's pick an example. Okay. Let's pick an example of Cameroon and Yaoundé. It's a little difficult to remember, right? Cameroon and Yaoundé. It's even difficult to pronounce, right? So how would, I've never been to Cameroon. How would I associate this to something? Cameroon. So let me help you here. Cameroon, can you associate this with camera on? Cameroon, camera on. Can we associate it to that? Camera on, right? And Yaoundé. Yaoundé, what can you associate this to? Yaoundé, think. Yaoundé. Yaoundé. think. Yoon. Okay, let me help you with the first word. Yes, Andi. Okay, so Yaoundé, what I thought we can associate this with Ya Ande. Ande, we know eggs. Imagining eggs standing and they're doing yeah, and there is a camera and it's on and you're taking a pic. So Cameroon, Yaoundé. You're able to imagine it? Camera is taking a photo, camera on, and eggs, they are standing and they're doing yeah, Yaoundé. Camera on, Yaoundé. You're able to imagine that? It's a little funny, but that is how you associate things. Because if it is funny, then you'll be able to remember it always. Like even if I ask you after many classes, what was the capital of Cameroon? You would be able to tell me. Do you think you'll be able to tell me Yaoundé? Right? Because we associated this with a very funny thing. Camera is on and we're taking a photo of eggs. They're doing yeah. Let's take another example. Okay. The capital of Bulgaria is Sofia. You will help me here. Okay. Bulgaria. Let's associate Bulgaria to something. Bulgaria. 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 Yes. See? Bulgaria. Right? Bulgaria. And now the second is Sofia. Its capital is Sofia. Sofia. Yeah. Okay. Sofa. What words do you think? When you hear Sofia, what does it come? Like what words come in your mind? Sofa. Sophia. Movie. Okay. Yes. Right. So if we take example of sofa here, what bull गिर गया सोफे पे? You're able to imagine? Bulgaria's capital is Sofia. Bull गिर गया सोफे पे. Okay. Soap. Bull गिर गया because soap था नीचे. Anything. Or even soft. We eat soft, right? Bull गिर गया soft खा के. Any image you can create, and if you create such images, you would be able to remember that. What did you did here? You associated very difficult words to something that is funny, to something that you could relate to. And once you associate it, you would be able to remember it. Similarly, okay, let's do it for all the words quickly, okay? Bahrain, Manama. Bahrain, Manama. बाहर रेन हो रहा है, मनामा. माँ मना कर रही है जाने के लिए, बाहर रेन हो रहा है. Right? Bahrain, Manama. You would be able to remember that. You're able to create a picture. बाहर रेन हो रहा है, माँ मना कर रही है, Manama. So let me again ask you, what was the capital of Cameroon? Raise your hands who remember what is the capital of Cameroon. Raise hands. Right? Everyone remembers it because we associated it with a picture. Right? Similarly, whenever you have to learn anything that is very long, any answers that is very long, you need to see what can I associate this to. Generally what happens, we generally have a problem that this, let's say social science, it's very boring, right? Remembering those dates or remembering what happened, it's generally very boring. But let's say if I create a story out of it, will it be boring anymore like we did just now? Will it be boring anymore? We need to create interest. and it will become interesting for us. So once we develop that interest, and once we're creating that thought, once we're imagining it and we're associating it with words, we'll be able to remember it. This you can do with any subject. You can make it interesting on your own. You know, here we learned a very important principle, which is called as air. Like air is, you know, necessary for our lives. So for memory, air is necessary. What does this air stands for? A stands for association law. We need to associate it to something. I stands for, any guesses? I. What could I stands for? I stands for imagination. And R stands for ridiculous thoughts. Okay? So if you're able to imagine and if you're able to associate it with words, and if that is very comedy, if it is ridiculous, if it is funny, we tend to remember funny things for a longer time. Right? So this is a technique for remembering things for a longer time. Everyone understood this technique? Any doubts in this technique? Right? You think you can use it and it is a practical technique? You will be able to use this technique? You think? Right? Great, great. Nice. Nice. So now you won't complain, right? That I'm not able to remember things or I'm not able to concentrate. We learn about concentration. Right? We need to build up interest. Let's say, let me ask you, do you remember the story of hare and tortoise? Do you remember the story of thirsty crow? Do you remember the story of, like, we remember those stories, Cinderella in that case. We remember those stories. Why do we remember? Because we created an image. Even though, let's say, I've never seen a thirsty crow or not even seen a picture of it in that sense, but I've created an image of it. Our mind, okay. So there are two things that our mind is doing here. If you see, first is creating a thought and the second is creating an image. So like yesterday, we learned about power of thought. Mind create thoughts, and today we learned about another power of mind, which is creating images. Right? Okay. So any questions? Like any questions do you have? Any doubts or any questions? Okay. So let me ask you, let's take a situation here. Let's say I'm sitting in class and teacher is teaching me something. And just after this period, I have another period and it's a games period. We all like games period, right? The teacher is teaching something and the class is about to finish and it's a games period. What we would be thinking at that time? Teacher is teaching, would we be hearing her or would we be actually thinking, what is the game that I'll play with my friends? We would be thinking about that, right? What is the image that we would be creating in our mind? When will the period get over, right? Yes, we'll be thinking about when will the period get over. I want to go and play games. Okay, so the first thing that we learned today, why will we not be able to hear the teacher? Why? Why cannot hear the teacher although she's speaking? Why cannot hear her? Anyone? Yes. Vidushi will tell us.
Because we are concentrating on our thoughts.
Yes. So we learn the power of attention, and we are not paying attention to the teacher, and we are paying attention to what we are thinking. That is why I'm not able to hear the teacher. Okay, first thing. And the second thing is, what is the image that I'm creating? I'm creating an image of games. Okay, so although I'll be looking at my copy, which is just in front of me, but I'm creating an image of games, would I be able to concentrate? I won't be able to concentrate. So we need to see here that we need to think and create image. Both should happen together. It shouldn't be that I'm thinking something else and creating image of something else. I won't be able to concentrate. Right? Yes. Nishita, you want to ask something? Yeah.
Ma'am, can you repeat the definition of concentration which you told?
Yes, sure. I'll repeat the definition of concentration. So concentration is basically when we think and create image together. If that is done together and for a long period of time, that is concentration. Clear? Okay, sure. So here we are thinking something else, we're creating image of something else, so we're not able to concentrate. Let's say I show you a PPT. Okay, in that PPT, the image is of nature, but what the commentary that is going behind that, it is of something else. It's of chemistry. Your chemistry teacher is speaking, and that the commentary is going on, and the images that you're seeing is it's of a nature. Would you be able to concentrate on what teacher is, like what the commentary is going on, or on the picture? Would you be able to do that together? Would you be able to understand that? No. So your audio and visual should be together. It should match. If the audio is different and if the visual is different, I won't be able to understand that thing. That is concentration. Having same audio and visual. Audio is your thoughts and visual is your images. If that goes together, that is concentration. Get it? Okay, sure. So another small thing that we need to know is, generally we have a periods of 1 hour or 45 minutes or 30 minutes only, right? Right? Why don't we have a long periods of 5-10 hours together and finish the school? We have breaks, small breaks. Teacher goes, another teacher comes in, right? The periods are of 30 minutes or 45 minutes, generally like that. Because we are given a break to register whatever we have learned. You cannot just keep on going, learning. You're using your mind to learn. You create images by your mind. You create thoughts by your mind. You're using your mind. So you need to relax your mind so that you can recharge it and use it the next time. Like if you play, you need rest after that. If you play for a long time, let's say I'm running for 35-45 minutes, I need a break. I need to rest. I need to a little warm up so that I can run next time. Similarly for mind, you need to relax your mind after you study. And what are the tools that you can use for relaxing your mind? What generally we do for relaxing? What do we do for recharging our mind in that break? Like you are in your home right now, what you generally do for relaxing? After studies, what do? I want the truth answers. What do? You're over with your studies, now you want to do something. We use mobile. We scroll Facebook. We see what are the posts in Insta, right? Is mind getting relaxed when we do that? Do you think mind gets relaxed if we use phone or play games or like watch out movies? Is mind getting relaxed? No, our mind doesn't relax. So for relaxing the mind, so mind is creating thoughts, mind is creating pictures. So for mind to relax, what we need to do? Mind need to create less thoughts, then it will relax, because mind is creating thoughts. That is its thing that it does, right? It is a thought generating organ. So mind generates thoughts, it creates pictures. So for it to relax, we need to decrease our thoughts, right? We need to create some good pictures which it likes. That will help relaxing the mind. But what we do, if I'm using a mobile and if I'm scrolling and checking Facebook, will my mind relax, or will it create more thoughts in my mind? No, right? It will create more thoughts in my mind. So we are not relaxing our mind. So the tool for relaxing is meditation or playing games or whatever you like in which you enjoy yourself. That is how you relax your mind. Because let's say whatever hobby you have, either it's painting or dancing or music. So whenever you do that, you don't think about anything else, right? You're too much involved in that. That also helps in relaxing your mind. Meditation helps in relaxing your mind because it decreases the thoughts. That we have to do for relaxing our mind, and not use Facebook or Insta for relaxing, because it drains our energy. It doesn't relax our mind. So it's clear. What do we need to do in break? If we'll be using mobile, all the 45 minutes hard work that we did, it will wash away. You need to register whatever you have learned in those 45 minutes. And for that, you need to recall and you need to relax your mind so that it gets registered. Okay, so today we learned some important things. First, we learned what is attention. We learned power of attention. Whatever we put our attention to, either it's seeing or hearing, we hear and see whatever we put our attention to. Same is applicable for situations and persons as well. Like however I want to see that person, I will be able to see good qualities and bad qualities in. It all depends on my attention. Same is valid for a situation. I can see good or bad in any situation. And we understood that each situation is an opportunity for me to grow. Then we understood about the concept of multitasking. Multitasking is not good for ourselves. And we understood about neuroplasticity, how we get addicted to things, right? And how we can use it to become better. Then we understood about concentration, right? Concentration is audio and visuals together. We learned about association technique, how we can associate things and how it becomes interesting. Because interest is key to concentration. If we don't have interest, we won't be able to concentrate. We learned about association technique, how we can use this for our studies, right? Any questions? So someone asked, is there a class tomorrow? So we'll have a class on next Saturday and we'll share what topics we have for next Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have this class only on weekends. Okay, great, sure. So any questions you have, I can take it up if you have any questions, or you can raise your hand and ask if you want. We should chant an Om, or should we take a nap? So anything is good. Anything that helps you reduce the thoughts will help you relax your mind. Okay. So let's do a small meditation before we close, okay? Sit comfortably. Relax yourself. Put your attention towards a very beautiful nature. See yourself near a seashore. A very calm place. See the waves, the air. Feel everything that you have around. Such a pleasant weather. Touch the water with your hands. Touch the sand. Feel the gentle breeze. Just stay there for a moment. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. We'll meet next weekend at the same time, 2 to 3. And we'll learn some new techniques. Okay? Okay. So your homework for this week would be, you'll see what all things you're paying attention to. Okay? And one day we'll do mobile fasting. Fasting is good for your health. Similarly, mobile fasting is good for your mental health. It has fasting as anti-cancerous properties, right? So let's do fasting for mobile for one day. Okay? So that is your homework. So did you all do homework for yesterday? You were able to find out the thought? Cool? Yes. Behind the feeling, right? Cool. Okay. So your homework for this week would be fasting that you have to do for mobile, and pay attention to what all things are paying attention to. We'll note that down. Okay? Sure. We'll meet next weekend. Bye.